Hello and welcome to Catherine Holt Crochet, formerly known as Quinology. Did some rebranding to get rid of my old internet alias, so now it's just me. I'm re-recording this intro because the first intro sucked, so I'm sorry if it seems a little bit weird. If you watched my last video, I went through a thrifting adventure getting some yarn, so I'm making this video to figure out what I have, how much I have, and then figuring out plans for those things. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. First things first, I like to make my notebook pretty. So, might as well keep that cap off. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that off to the side. I just got this kitchen scale from Walmart, nothing special. So yeah, have this right here. It seems to be very sensitive. I would like. Ooh. Okay, how many grams? It seems like there's 2 grams, 3 grams. Oh my god, this is super sensitive. Okay, so first things first, got my yarn. Some of this yarn is too big to just be on its own, so I've got a bowl here. So it doesn't matter if it's got you. So, got this bowl here. The bowl weighs 214 pounds, don't you know? Or 214 grams. Okay. So with this yarn here, I'll be able to know the yardage because I still have one of the packs. So we'll just go ahead and let me do the balls first. So that ball is 77 and 153, 228, 263, 337, and then 412, 435, 510, 587, and 662. So I'm going to take my thing, come up with a name for this. This is going to be Jamie 4-ply Newborn. Alright, so that's that one. Just going to dump it out behind me. And zip back to 0. Excellent. Next, let's do these ones. Another one I have the thing for. This is Barella. No other descriptors. Starting at 0. Got 90, 183. And 274. Oh, 273 and 274. So this was, there was 274 grams. Excellent. Boop. Okay, next, this one, which I don't have the thing for, so I have no idea what kind of yarn this is. We'll just call it Puffy Pink. There's 84 grams in the ball and 289 grams total. We are going to have to figure out what kind of yarn that is so I can figure out how many yards it is, but that's next step. So Puffy Pink. 290 grams. Okay. Boop. Next, this, I don't really need to weigh this because I already know what I'm going to do with this. I've got let me move this out of the way. So I've got this blanket here, which has this ripple pattern. I think I've shown it before, but it's got this ripple pattern. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna weave it in along some of the ripples, not all of them, but just like a few of them, to give the impression of waves. So I don't really need to weigh that, but I probably should, just because I'm weighing everything. So we'll just call this white roving. Is that what I called it before? Got 100 grams of that. 100 grams. Next, okay, this one, Red Heart Premier. I love these old Red Heart yarns. They are just so, I don't know, retro? Is that the right word? Anyway, I'm gonna leave the paper on there because I don't want to lose it. But I'll know, because this has the information on it, how much is in here once I've got the grams. So there's 78 grams of gray Red Heart. Alright, and while we're doing that, this one did not have a paper with it, but I mean, I would assume it is the same yarn because it does feel the same, and it was being used in a project with the other one, so I think that this is the same. So I'm gonna just call this Red Heart Premier Red, and we'll see how much is on there. Ooh, 46 grams. 46 G's. Probably gonna cut that out. Okay, now this one, which I also do not have the label for, is very fine. We'll call this Baby Pink. I have 115 grams of that. I think so. I think I have 115 grams. Next, Weird Salmon. Don't have the paper for this. 60 grams of salmon. Oh, it's salmon. No, it's salmon. 60 G's. Okay. Oh, this is some of the first one, the Jamie 4-ply. This isn't a lot of usable yarn, but I'll include it in my thing just to be good. It's 10 grams, so I'm gonna correct this plus 10 G. Cool. Next, Karen Simply Soft. 87. This one, nameless. Call this one Simple Pink. 152. Rainbow. 95 G. Almost done here. The last one. Ooh. He dense. 179 grams of, let's call you baby blue. Alright, sick. On to the next step. First to take this yarn, and I gotta figure out what it is. I found it was Big Twist Classic. I took a screen recording before Joann's took this off of the website, but this looks basically exactly like what I had. So I figured out how much I had, and I went to find a pattern that would fit it. I found this one, very nice pattern. It says it only takes 530 yards, and I had like 600. I ended up with a lot of extra, but the pattern was really easy to follow with the picture and the instructions, and I made this very nice shawl. I had to add the border around it because I still had a ton of extra yarn when I was done with the pattern, so I just added an extra couple rows of border and some fringe, and it turned out pretty nice. Each side looks a little bit different from the other, and I like the way that it has this kind of flowery X motif all over it. Very comfy, very fluffy and nice, and it's just nice and cozy. And I love the way that this pattern turned out. Again, it was super easy to follow. The pattern's for free on Yarnspirations, and of course in this video as well. Next, I had to take this, and this yarn and put them all together. I wasn't sure exactly how much I had, so I did a spiral blanket. The virtue of this is that you can essentially just use up all of your yarn, just going around and around and around until you run out of one, and then you just continue on with the other colors until you're completely out of yarn. And everything was going really well. I really liked this 2 double crochets to 1 chain space, and it turned out really, really nice until I lost my hook and I had that much yarn left and no hook somehow. Next was identifying this yarn, which I think I found a match for here. I think I'm going to add this on the outside of the spiral blanket because it's still not big enough. But again, I lost my hook, so that will have to wait. But I figured out what kind of yarn it is, so that's good. Looks a little different in the picture. Next, I took this yarn, and I was thinking that I was going to make a crochet cardigan like I did from this, but it turns out it was too heavy, so instead I just did a freeform skirt with a ribbing waistline, very stretchy, very nice. I put a slit down the middle that I can sew up like laces, but I ended up not needing that because it has a lot of stretch. I took a couple clips of this. This is when the skirt was a little bit shorter, and then a little bit longer. I finished with that yarn, and I added this pattern on the end there so that I can actually incorporate another yarn that I had in my stash. The color is a bit off, so I had to adjust it. It makes everything look weird, but that's more real color. And then what I did, or am doing, is weaving it in and out of those little spaces there so that I can add some border of it and it'll flow very nicely. So that's kind of where we're at now. And that brings us to now. Jamie, the Big Twist, the Karen Simply Soft, Pink, Rainbow, and Baby Blue have all been taken care of. The baby pink ice cream will be added to the blanket, but the others I don't really have any idea about. The white roving I've already got a plan for. The red heart, I think I might just continue with those squares and see where that goes. But the Barella and the salmon, I really have no idea. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know. So yeah, that was all I got done in the last week or so. So I will be giving more updates on this as I finish things up, but that's what I got for now. Again, if you have any ideas for the Barella or the salmon yarn, please let me know. I think I'm going to be making little yarn bags out of the salmon, but I'm not sure. So if you like this video, just leave me a comment, share your thoughts and opinions, and yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and stay crafty.